Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered, when did I start to change so much? Maybe it's a new wrinkle. Maybe your body doesn't move quite the way it used to, okay? And sometimes those changes can feel unsettling, okay? But here's the truth. Aging is something we can't escape. It's the path we all walk. The real question is not, how do I stop it? But how do I respond to it? The Buddha taught that much of our suffering comes from fighting against life's natural flow. We want to hold on to youth, to moments, to the way things used to be. Yet, the reality is this: everything is always changing. And that's not something to fear. In fact, it's the secret doorway to peace and freedom. What if aging isn't about losing who we are, but about discovering a richer, deeper version of ourselves? Let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered how long people will actually remember you after you're gone? Okay? Your career, your achievements, even the funny stories you tell at family gatherings over time. Most of these fade. That thought can feel a little unsettling, right? We spend so much of our lives chasing recognition, trying to leave behind something permanent. But the truth is, nothing about life is permanent. This is exactly what the Buddha meant when he spoke about the idea of no self. He wasn't saying we don't exist. He was teaching us that we are not fixed, unchanging beings. We're more like waves in the ocean, rising, falling, blending back into something much greater than ourselves. There's a Zen story that captures this beautifully. A student once asked his master, "Doesn't it make you sad that when you die, people may forget your name?" The master pointed to the flowing river beside the temple and said, "Where is the water that passed here yesterday? It has flowed on, yet the river is still here." That's the lesson. What matters is not whether our name endures, but whether our actions ripple outward like kindness that inspires, wisdom that comforts, love that changes someone's life. Think about it. Can you recall every teacher who shaped you? Probably not, but their influence still lives within you. So, instead of clinging to being remembered, focus on living fully right now. 'Cause the true legacy is not your name, it's the goodness you leave in people's hearts. Have you ever noticed how our culture seems obsessed with youth? Everywhere we turn, we're told to cover the gray, smooth out the wrinkles, and hold on to our younger selves for as long as possible. And when those signs of age start to show, it's easy to feel like we're losing something important. But what if aging isn't about decline at all, okay? What if it's actually the beginning of your truest beauty? God's wisdom reminds us that real beauty isn't skin deep. It's not measured by flawless skin or a wrinkle-free face. True beauty is found in presence, in compassion, and in the calm wisdom that only comes with time. Every wrinkle is not a flaw, it's a story. Every silver strand in your hair is a symbol of lessons earned, of challenges faced, of love given and received. There's a Zen story that illustrates this perfectly. A monk once compared a cherry blossom tree with an old pine. A cherry blossom dazzles with its youthful bloom, bright and fleeting. The pine, though weathered, stands tall and deeply rooted, representing strength and endurance. Both are beautiful, just in different ways. Think about the elders you've admired in your own life. Was it their looks that inspired you? Or was it the way they carried themselves with patience, kindness, and the ability to make others feel safe and seen? That's the kind of beauty that grows richer with age. So the next time you see your reflection, don't look for what's missing. Look for the strength in your eyes, the wisdom in your smile, and the kindness in your expression. You are not fading, you're shining, just in a deeper, more powerful way. As we grow older, one of the first things we notice is how our body begins to change. The knees ache a little more, our movements aren't quite as quick, and energy doesn't flow the way it once did. And often, the hardest part isn't the physical shift itself, it's the way we resist it. We cling to the idea of our younger body, and that's where so much of the suffering comes from. There's a simple Buddhist story about an old monk who carried water in a cracked clay pot. Though the pot was no longer perfect, it still served its purpose. The monk cherished it because even in its brokenness, it provided water every day. Our bodies are just like that pot, changing, imperfect, but still deeply valuable. Instead of criticizing every new line, every ache, or every limitation, what if we treated our body with gratitude? Think about it. This body has carried you through decades of experiences. It has let you laugh, cry, love, and build your life. Doesn't it deserve your care, your patience, and your respect? A nourishing meal, gentle movement, or simple rest can be an act of love toward this loyal companion. And remember, physical decline is not the same as spiritual weakness. Your spirit, your wisdom, and your capacity for love can grow even stronger as the body slows down. When you befriend your body, you stop seeing it as a failing machine and start honoring it as a faithful partner on the path of life. As we move through life, one of the most tender lessons we face is how our relationships change. Friends we once saw every day may slowly drift away. Family dynamics shift as children grow older or as loved ones pass on. At first, these changes can feel like loss, but Buddhism reminds us of something profound. Impermanence touches everything, okay? Even the bonds we hold closest to our hearts. There's a Zen story of a monk standing by a river. He watched as water droplets flowed together for a time, then naturally separated, each continuing its own path downstream. People in our lives are much like those droplets. Some walk beside us for years, others only briefly. But all are part of our journey. And here's the truth. Love is not about possession or control. It's about appreciation. It's about being fully present with someone while they are here, instead of holding on to the fear that they may not always stay. Think of the laughter shared with an old friend, or the quiet comfort of a parent's embrace. These moments live within us, even if the relationship changes. So, instead of clinging to what was, we can learn to treasure the connections that are alive today, remain open to the new bonds waiting to form, and let go of fading ties with grace. Because even when people leave, their impact stays woven into who we are. And that too is a kind of enduring love. One of the quiet fears many people face as they grow older is the sense of becoming useless. Retirement comes, the pace of life slows, and suddenly society seems to measure us less because we're no longer producing, no longer doing as much as before. But here's a powerful truth from Buddhist wisdom. Your worth has never been defined by your productivity. Think about it. From childhood, we're told to achieve, to accomplish, to keep proving ourselves. But when we pause, when we're no longer able to keep up with that endless race, does that mean we lose our value? Of course not, okay? It's often in stillness that our deepest worth shines through. There's a Zen saying, sitting quietly, doing nothing, spring comes and the grass grows by itself. Life has its own rhythm. We don't have to force it. Sometimes, just being present.com, aware is more powerful than any action we could take. There's a story of an elderly monk who could no longer handle the monastery's physical chores. He worried he was a burden, but the other monks told him, "Your calm presence keeps us balanced. When we see you sitting in peace, it reminds us why we practice." His worth was not in what he did, but in who he was. Your presence, your kindness, your wisdom, these are gifts no job title or to-do list can measure. Your value doesn't disappear with age, it deepens as we move through life. One of the hardest truths we face is this: we will lose people we love. Parents, partners, friends, even children. The thought alone can bring a heaviness to the heart. And when it happens, the grief feels overwhelming, as if the world has lost its color. Buddhist wisdom doesn't deny this pain. Instead, it helps us walk through it. There's a well-known story about Kisa Gautami, a grieving mother who lost her only child. In her desperation, she asked the Buddha for medicine to bring him back. The Buddha told her to collect a mustard seed from any household, untouched by death. She searched everywhere, but every home had known loss. That's when she realized grief is universal. No one escapes it, but here's the deeper lesson. While the body may be gone, love never truly dies. It remains alive in our memories, in the lessons we learned, in the way we treat others because of how they treated us. Every smile they gave, every story they shared, becomes part of us. Grief, in its rawest form, is not a sign of weakness. It's proof of how deeply we loved. And over time, that pain can be transformed into gratitude for having shared life, even if only for a season. So when you miss someone you've lost, remember, they're not just behind you, they're within you. Love is the one thing that death cannot take away. Aging is not the closing of a book, it's the deepening of the story. Every wrinkle on your face, every farewell you've endured, every change in your body or relationships, they are not marks of decline, but signs of courage, wisdom, and transformation. Buddhism reminds us that we are not fading away. We are becoming more whole, more compassionate, and, if we allow it, more free. The real choice before us is simple. Do we resist aging with fear, clinging to what's gone? Or do we embrace it with openness, gratitude, and peace? The truth is, life doesn't shrink with age, it expands in meaning. You're not losing who you are. You're uncovering the depth of what you've always been. So, let this be your reminder. You're not growing old. You're growing whole. If you found value here, I'd be grateful if you could like this video, subscribe for more reflections like this, and share it forward. Together, we can change how the world sees aging, one heart at a time.